Hello, everyone. Good evening. If you can hear me, can you react to this? Okay, good. So, hope you guys had like a really good trading week last week, and then hopefully this week will be good as well. So today we're gonna talk about uh, a few things. Basically, we're gonna look at the charts first. Then we will talk about something else relating to like psychology and stuff. So yeah, so prepare your minds. Today's going to be very insightful, and you probably learn a lot from this. So yeah, first things first, we always check the weekly calendar before we go into a trade, or before we go into the trading week, so we can like map out what we're expecting for the week. So my first expectation, looking at the weekly calendar, is basically we have Monday. It's a bank holiday, right? So basically, tomorrow I'll probably not be trading. I would like to see how the daily plans out, and then Tuesday we'll be looking into the markets. So basically, if you see the way the week is planned, is the second half of the week that there is heavy like news, right? We have GDP on Thursday, and then we have PMI on Friday, which is going to affect euro and pound. So basically, so basically, we're we have this as a calendar. I hope you guys have checked the calendar and seen what you all will be trading this week. So basically, this is what we have for this week. So we go into the charts now. Give me a sec, please. So can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? If you can, just let me know. Just thumbs up. Okay. So let's start today's work. So looking at how we started the month, right? We came off this uh basically this order block, this bullish order block here, and we're seeing a reaction from it. So basically, my next point of interest is this month's high, which is December's high from last year. So that's my focus. But basically, now that we're at a uh, bearish order block, we might see a little retracement. I do not expect a crazy retracement, right? But like we're in a weekly bearish order block. So maybe I expect it to like come down a bit, right? Let me use my other tool. Yeah. So this expect something like around here, then we go for the highs, right? So this is what I'm expecting basically on the dollar. And this is like uh what should happen. Like now, I don't expect that the market will do what I say, right? But basically, when you have a plan, you stick to your plan, and then you wait for the market to like show you time before you go into it. So yeah, let's go down into the next time frame, which is daily. So looking at the daily, right, we're coming off this order block as well. So I'm having a feeling that we'll probably have to retest this volume imbalance here. We'll probably retest it before going higher, right? I expect this to happen basically. So from here, we see something like this. Yeah. Yeah. So this is what I'll be expecting for this coming week, right? And now that we have a swing high, we should expect some form of retracement. So usually when the swing high forms, there's a little bit of like retracement most of the time. So we should probably retest this level and go higher. So going down to the H4, where we'll probably see more opportunities to like enter like positions, right? So looking at this here, basically we have this other block here for like entry. Basically, I'm looking to enter around here, but I won't just enter off the wave, right? I won't just enter just like that. I'll just wait for probably like a shift in like M15 or like M5. That's 5 minute chart before I will enter my trade and make this visible too. Okay. So yeah. So yeah, so this is point of interest for this week to get to this high basically. And you probably see like basically a 2 hour trade in this. So yeah, now going down to the 1 hour, we have a nice bullish fair value gap here where we could look for entries basically on this 1 hour time frame. Let's change it to something different so we see it. So something around here would be nice. So basically, I'll be seeing some sort of retracement down into this, maybe sweep here, then do this, then. So this is basically what I'm expecting on the dollar, which would definitely affect the euro in the world sense. So basically, once you're expecting the dollar to buy, you expect the euro to sell, basically. So that is the plan. So I'm looking for shorts on the euro. Same idea, basically. From the weekly, we have this reaction from this inverted fair value gap where we saw a very deep retracement into it last week, which will come back to the recap of how last week went, right? But I want to get this out of the way for going into last week. So basically, we had a retracement back up into here because we expected this to hold for price, right? To go higher, because that was my bias for last week, or rather 2 weeks ago. I thought this was going to hold to push price higher, right? But it did not. Rather, it became an inversion level for price to react off and to sell. And that's exactly what it did. So basically that's the same idea for this week. I want to quickly go back to DXY, look at the monthly. And basically, this high is my next draw. This candle's high. Let me try and zoom it in a bit more here. This candle's high because it's a monthly time frame. So basically, you'll find more opportunities on the lower time frame to get to this. You might look at this and say it's a very small objective, right? But this is a lot on like 5 minute charts, right? It's a very big range. So basically, I'm looking for this to be swept this week, hopefully. So back to the euro. So now we'll go down to the H4. This is looking really nice because we have a clear and obvious downtrend, right? Aiming for what that we're aiming for, or aiming for this liquidity down here. Let me draw it out. Okay, I already did. So here is what we're aiming for this week. This target here, this daily swing low, basically. So we're aiming for this swing low, and then we'll like see what happens from there. So on the H4, we have this bearish fair value gap coupled with the bearish order block. So why is it a bearish order block? It is because it swept this high at the key level, right? What's the key level? This H4 fair value gap. So it swept the high, change this to. So it swept this high, then broke down. It broke lower, it went lower. So this is a strong high. So you should probably put that in your notes. So at a key level, right, you'd expect to see your PDRAs, like the PDRAs in that direction form. So that's what you'd expect in this. So basically, this is a point of interest, right? Looking at this other block here, for price come up to and then react. I want to see a good reaction from this. If not the fair value gap, right? The other block will be nice as well. So this is also point of interest here. Fair value gap. Yeah. So basically, reaction from any of these levels will be nice. So basically, you want to wait for like some form of confirmation. You just don't want to enter like direct most of the time because number one, we're in the beginning of the year, so the market is still be a bit unsure. I will not say it's unsure, but like it's just better to wait for like confirmation on the lower time frame, which is the M5, that's 5 minutes, or the M15, which is a 15-minute chart. So like you will see like your break of structure on that time frame in this level and in a Q zone. The Q zone is basically the time where the banks usually trade most of the time, and then it's where most of the volume of the liquidity, right, is being traded into. That's the time frame. So usually, uh, London session starts from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Usually, that's when you should try and find your trade, but it actually opens earlier. Let's say from 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. But now that there's daylight savings time, so your London session actually starts from 8 a.m. till 11, and then your New York starts from 1 p.m. till 3 p.m. And then you have your London close, which is uh 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. So basically, you are just going to be looking for trade opportunities in these times. So those are the times you should be looking for your trades at your key levels, basically. So yeah, that's basically my expectations for this week. And yeah, looking at this same thing on the H1, be looking for something around here to put yourself into like a proper sell. Sorry. Yeah, so around here, you would want to be around this, and we're aiming for the low down here. This low, basically, and make it visible for. So yeah, so to this low, basically a 2 hour trade. We don't really need more than 2-3 hour, basically, and you would want to go through a slow pace rather than fast pace. Like basically trying to rush your trades or like take multiple trades. You like to trade your system, right? And trade it right. So basically, that's basically my ideas for this week, this upcoming week. And I'll be looking for opportunities here. So looking at Euro GBP before I go into the GU, you will see that basically it's in a consolidation, which means both pairs would actually be good to like trade. But clearly it's in a like downtrend. So basically, if you want to sell shorts, Euro is clearly weaker than GU, or Euro is clearly weaker than the pound. So basically, we'll be looking for us to attack these lows. So basically, this is what we're looking for. So for GU, basically the same idea, but you can see that GU is a bit stronger. It did not take this low the way EU did. EU took this low. That's why I opened the GBP first to show you how the whole market is being traded. Euro is clearly weaker than pound. So I will not really be looking for much opportunities here. If for anything, I'll be looking for like a sweep of this high, at least. Then I'll find my opportunities around here. So basically, I will look for a break of structure around this zone here. Let me highlight this whole place because you would want to see your, your setups form around here. So yes, you need to keep that back of your mind before you take a trade, right? You need to check like the strength analysis of both pairs. So let's say now you're trading euro USD or GBP USD. Which one is better for your sentiment or your trade idea, your bias basically? You check the two pairs combined. So now euro GBP combination of the two of them. So if we want to check for, let's say, new NZD Aussie or something, you come here, you check for NZD Aussie and New Zealand pairs. Basically, I don't trade this, but like I just have it just in case. And you can see that if you are looking to sell short to uh the Australian dollar is probably going to be weaker and it's going to be better for shorts, right? So that's something to put in your notes. So always look for like pairs that are correlating and then look at which one is weaker by you looking at the main pair. So yeah, we are done with the market outlook. So we'll go back to like the trade recap from last week. So basically, I had a trade last week. I think it was a Wednesday. Basically, I was expecting some sort of retracement into a key level after seeing this reaction from the euro, right? This going up into this fair value gap where we thought we were going to buy, right? So basically, my expectations for last week was to sell, and I just had to be patient. Basically, I had to be patient, really patient, because markets was really woggy. I'll probably call it wabi sabi. I don't know if you niggas heard. I've heard that term before. But basically, I was looking for like sales, and I saw my opportunity on let me see, in H1, basically, after getting to the key level, right? So you want to wait for confirmation, lower time frame confirmation. So this is the level I talked about, the inversion level, and then we started to see some down movement. So this is one sign that made me like know that okay, yeah, I'll probably take a trade this week after seeing this reaction off the key level. So we had this sweep here, and then we had a bearish reaction, quick bearish reaction at a key level, which is the weekly key level. So this is going to be a strong order block, right? It's going to be very hard to like validate this because it's at the key level. So basically, you want to be trading around this area and see how market reacts around here. So we had this continuous down movement, then a little retracement, then we had another sweep confirming another bearish break of structure. So basically, my entry was this bearish order block here, right? Or was it on the H4? I think it was on the H4. Yes, so this was my entry here. Entry was here. And then I was aiming for a low, I think it was this low here. So basically, I trimmed my stops to this high, this sweep of structure high, and then we targeted these lows here. So yeah, basically, I saw because I was expecting it to go higher, right? I basically missed one setup. Well, I wasn't bothered because that was not my initial plan. So I saw this play here. This was a play that I missed because I was basically doing something else. So if we go down to the 5 minutes, we'll see what I saw and why I like I wanted to take the trade. So looking at EU, we saw that because I was expecting buys to like a premium so that we can sell, and then my TP at Asian high. So we saw this sweep of Asian low, right? There was a sweep, and then we saw a reaction, which is a break of structure here. But if you take a look at GU did not break that low on Monday. Was it Monday or Tuesday? Let me check. But GU didn't break that low. So that was like a sign for me. What was it? What day was this? Tuesday. So let's go down to Tuesday. Tuesday. So basically there was like a crack in correlation, right? So that's like a trade confirmation for me. Basically, EU took this low, but GU did not. So like this low was still intact on GU. Basically, when I see this, I'm like, okay, yeah, I think it's time to actually trade. So when I saw that, I was like, let me go and set my entries and stuff. But then I missed the trade. But all good because there was still another opportunity. Because the market will always present itself. So it's good not to chase trades, right? It's always good to not chase trades. So yeah, basically that's what happened last week, and then trade ended up as a win. Thankful to God. So and what happened was I was going to add to this position, right? But it felt like FOMO because I wanted to pass the challenge or my challenge fast, and I was like, nah, I have to take this thing slow because previously, anytime I stack or like add positions, it always messes up my trade or is either it ends in a loss. I was like, no, let me just stick to the initial plan. And which is why I want to talk about something very important today, which is expectations, right? What do you expect from your trade? What exactly do you expect while you're trading? Like these are the questions you need to ask yourself when you're trading. So what are you working towards basically? Like I was okay, this was my idea. I would trade, right? Get a funded account, right? And then basically use it to better myself. So that's basically what I'm working towards. I'm working towards being a better person, a better trader, not because of the money or anything, but like I just want to become a better trader. What am I trying to achieve basically? What image am I trying to achieve? These are questions I usually ask myself when I'm going to a trade. Uh, what do I expect when I'm going into a trade? Do I expect that market is going to move in my direction, but market must do what I say? I don't think that way when I'm trading because it usually messes up the whole thing. Then when you have a loss, you'll be like, nah, the market is wrong, I'm right. And then you want to force a trade. Do you get what I'm saying? So those are bad habits you want to get rid of, basically. So like I was thinking about this the day I wanted to add another position. I was like, what if this trade stops me out, right? What will happen then? I'll be down because I'll have to add extra risk, right? Basically, so that's extra risk for something you didn't even plan. You didn't plan to add. I didn't plan to do that. But then I was like, what if this trade actually stops me out? How would I react? So I just decided not to. I decided to avoid that situation, which is I think that was the best decision I actually did because I know the trade would have been good because it actually went to the TP. But like, will I be fulfilled? Like that, those are the questions I was asking myself. Will I actually be fulfilled when when I break my rules and stuff? So if I keep breaking my rules, I'm not going to see change, right? So yeah, and that really put me in a mindset that I just have to stick to my rules. I always have to stick to my rules. So you need to ask yourself what you're doing, right? Does it put yourself in a mindset that is helpful for you to execute your plan? Is that like what your plan says or anything? Are you following your plan? Is what you're about to do, is it making you fearful? Is it making you greedy? Because sometimes it might be greed that's making you want to add to positions, right? But like that's not in your rule. You probably do not want to add to positions because your trade management skills are probably low or poor, like mine. I'm not really good at trade management, right? So I've decided that I'm not going to be adding positions. So I just took time out. I left the chat. I literally deleted the whole. I cleared tabs and everything. So I was like, why? Why am I going to do this? Am I being fearful? Am I being overconfident? Because basically, I was like, damn, yes, this trade is going my way. So it's time to add more positions. But at the point, because my last trade was a loss, and it was due to me stacking positions. So would I have learned my lesson from like the previous trade if I had added any position? No, basically. So that's something I was thinking about throughout the whole trade and everything. So we need to also have like power of positive thinking, right? What if this trade actually works out? What if like this actually goes to TP? What will I do then? Basically, you just have to stick to your road. Nothing actually changes, to be fair. Basically, the market does not care about you. You should not care about the market either. So you should just stick to your plan, stick to your rules, stick to everything, and then you'll be good, basically. So sometimes, like now, I think I was about to make a decision based on my emotions. You need to like take hold of your emotions while you're trading because it's really like detrimental to your trading. If you don't do that, it's going to be detrimental to your trading, basically. You need to take hold of your emotions. When you're feeling any kind of pressure, let's say now your trade is either going against you or it's like uh going in your direction. How do you react in such like scenarios? Like now, sometimes when the trade is going against me, I usually panic. I'm like, oh more, this trade is gonna stop me out. Oh, how do I overcome this? What do I do? Should I leave? Should I? I'm just like, but like, there's one of my friends, is Adefe, is basically the one that usually tells me to like just let the trade play out. Basically, let it play out. You had your plan. You set your stop loss. You expect, okay, this is your inversion level where rather your bias is wrong, right? So just leave it. Let your trade go. See how it pans out, and then figure it out. Then you would be able to know what you did wrong, what you did right. Then you journal everything down. Basically, you write it down, you document it, and you just become a better trader that way. Do you get what I'm saying? So like basically you are basically trading to like become a better trader, not because of any other thing. You are doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for anyone. You are like, you get what I'm trying to say. So um so there are just a few things, right, that I need to put you guys like your mind to. Basically, when you are in a trade, you should only have three expectations. Like, is either this is going to be a big win, a small win, or a small loss. We do not want to have we don't want to have big losses, basically. That is very bad. That means your trade management was bad, your risk was like too much. So basically, you should only think of three things that are going to happen anytime you place a trade. Is it that it's going to be a big win? Is it that sorry, and calm down. Is it that this is going to be a small win or is it going to be a small loss? Like, you need to build that habit of not having huge losses, right? If you build a process and mindset to ever avoid taking a big loss, you will do yourself much better odds in long-term success, to be fair. Like, that's just it. So you need to stop thinking of the trade outcome as either you were right or wrong. This is not a game of ego, basically. You need to know what you're doing and then stick to your rules. Yeah. So, but what's the end goal at the end of everything? What's the end? Like, your job is not to get funded, right? It's not to get that certificate, or and it's to get paid. You are literally doing this to get paid. You're not doing it for any dumbass firm, or apologies for my language, but like, you're not doing it for like for the recognition. You're doing it to get paid. So you treat it as a business. Treat it as your business. So that's exactly what I want you guys to put into consideration as you go into this week. So I want you to, as you're trading this week here, like while you're trading, what I want you guys to like note some things down. You need to reflect on the last time you went on like let's say like you went on event trade or you went on tilt basically, you went crazy after a loss or something. So what made you angry basically? What made you angry? What made you go into that scenario? Is it because you were basically you're wrong or the market did not move your way? Would you have felt differently if your expectations were different before even executing it? So yeah, basically you need to ask yourself these questions. And going forward, you need to ask yourself, what am I expecting from this trade? You need to be mindful of the typical impact and influence that this has on you. So you need to know before you even press the button, right? You need to know what you're expecting. We don't want a large loss, basically. We want either a small win, a big win, or a small loss. You need to get that back of your mind. So yeah, what am I expecting from this trade basically is those three things. So if it's a win, you basically don't show any emotion. You just journal and you move on. You improve where you could have improved. If it was a loss, you move on. You show no emotion. Basically, I know that's hard. It sounds easy, but like you just have to. You just have to detach yourself from the emotions in trading. If not, you just get hurt. Because I know there was a time when I took like 2 months off because I lost like 200 accounts. I wanted to kill myself, to be fair. I was just so angry and I was frustrated with the whole thing. So I just took 2 months off. I was not looking at charts or anything. So yeah, basically you just need to always detach yourself from the emotions of trading. And what are your expectations basically? What are you working towards? What are you trying to achieve? What image are you trying to portray of yourself while trading? Are you trying to form like a uh ego while trading? That is not good. Because most people out there, you see them, they are like basically putting on a farce. They're putting on a show, trying to show you that yes, they can trade. But basically, when you start trading their strategy, you find out that these niggas can't even trade anything. So you need to stick to your own rules. What like your own trades, they are your trades. They are not his trade, they are not her trades, your trades. So basically, you should expect basically nothing from your trade. I just feel like that's the best plan. Like that's the best way to go. So basically, once you're in a trade, you have no expectations. It's either it's a win, it's either it's a loss, and then you move on, and you improve basically. So let's quickly go on a recap on what we're expecting for this week. A quick rundown. Okay, so we start from the dollar again. We go on to the monthly. So yeah, coming from this sweep, we're going to have like some sort of bullishness on dollar. So basically on euro and GU, we'll be expecting sales. Then we'll go down to the weekly. We've seen a very strong reaction from this PDRA here, which is going to support prices higher. So this is my next draw, this December's high. So yeah, going down to the daily, I want us to like retest this level and come up here, basically. So basically, this is my idea for the week of the third week in the month of January. So yes. Always also remember that you always have to consider the economic calendar, right? You need to always consider that. Looking at how this week is going to pan out, we have uh tomorrow is bank holiday, so there's probably not going to be much trading for me. I'll probably not even look at the chart until the market close. And then we have Tuesday, pound news. Wednesday, we have pound and USD news. But my focus will probably be on the second half. So it's basically from like after Trump's news, after Trump speaks, right? I'll probably be looking for trades. Thursday, Friday. Hopefully, it's going to be a great week for everyone. So, yes. So, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand, type them in the chat box, and then I can answer you. Yes, David. Nice to meet you. What's your question?
Yeah, but good evening. This is the first time I'm joining you guys live section. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, I can.
So yeah, what I wanted to ask you too was okay, I've been seeing all the illustrations and your lookouts.
Sorry, come again, please.
Yeah, I said I've been seeing your illustrations and your general lookout for the week. So what I wanted to ask is that is it that do you guys also like offer like um some you know intensive training, let's say for okay for guys like me that I'm a little bit of a beginner, do you get like that kind of scratch training stuff like that? I don't know if you're following.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So basically, we're planning to have some educational content put out soon, maybe this month. So it's going to be on our YouTube. I'll send the YouTube to the WhatsApp channel. So yeah, that's actually it. We'll put out some educational content soon. But for now, it's just going to be weekly outlooks. And if you have any uncertainties or like questions that you want us to answer for you, you can just ask. But yeah, that's just it. Thanks for asking.
Okay, okay. Sorry, another question. My last question. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, what I wanted to also ask is that, is it possible that you guys drop like, actual signals like now you've given us the idea of what to look out for, do you get? So now for the likes of us that don't really know how to execute the trade at those particular points, do you guys like drop signals like sell at this point, stop loss at so price, stuff like that?
Okay, that's also a good question. But I don't think we are not going to be offering like signal services. What we'll do, right, is just send our ideas over to the channel, like how or where we're looking to execute. Then you can set an alert on your trading view, right, or your charts whenever there's like whenever price goes to that level, right. That's probably when we will be looking at charts to execute, and then probably you can also take a trade from there. So yeah, we would not just put out anyhow like charts, right? We'll be putting out where we would actually want to execute our trades, and we'll also use the okay now let's for now like for example this we want to look for buys here, so you can just set your alerts for when price gets to this level. It's not that okay when it gets to this level we're going to buy immediately. We'll probably have to wait for confirmation. So we'll wait for confirmation on like let's say like lower time frame, right? We want to see something like a break of structure at that level that I, I placed. So basically a sweep around here, here, and then we see some some of like momentum going back into the market in our direction. So you want to enter like on like an order block. I don't even know if you know what an order block is. But basically we also put out some trading education for those of us who do not really understand like terms and terminologies that we use here. So basically, we want to look for setups around here. So this is not a pair that you'll be trading because this is the dollar. Dollar, I don't think the dollar is tradable at the moment on some brokers. So what we'll be looking for is on the euro, right? You want to be looking for the setups on the euro. So basically, you sweep around here into this big ass, sorry for my language, this big value gap, right?
Mm.
here, we'll be looking for a trade here on here. Then aiming for the low that I set this low here. Basically, you don't really need this whole range, just need a portion of the move. So let's say now price has come here, has come to this level, right? Then you start seeing some, let's say now it sweeps here, then it now breaks down with displacement. You want to enter here, let's say like there's another block around here. Then if you miss that, the range is still a loss, so you can still get in at another range. So now let's say there's another fair value gap left around here. So let's say there's a fair value gap here on M5 or M15. You probably want to enter on that, and they use this high, the lower time frame high as your stop loss. So basically, that's what we'll be doing. We're not going to be offering signal services like that or at all, to be fair. So,
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. Thank you very much.
yeah. So do we have any more questions? Do you have any more things you need us to clarify for you? Emoro. I don't know if I'm so sorry if I butchered that. But yeah, you can ask a question.
Okay, good evening.
Hello. Evening.
My question is on trading with Confluence. What's your opinion on it?
Trading with Confluence.
Yeah.
What Confluence are you talking about?
Trading pin bars.
Sorry?
Trading pin bars. I've been reading this um candlestick Bible, so I saw it there.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I can't get it clearly like that.
Okay, so basically you need to also understand how like the candlesticks work. And it's good that you're reading the candlestick Bible, right? It's going to be helpful. So basically at key levels, you would want to see those uh candlestick patterns, or basically those things form at those levels. So now for example, let's go to the H1. So do you know what a bullish engulfing or a bearish engulfing candle is? Do you have an
Yes,
idea of it?
yes,
So basically, if you look at the weekly, right, this is the level that we're expecting a sell from last week. And then we posted it on the channel. If you were following, we posted this level, and then we're expecting a trade from here. So what you should expect, right? So for your bias, to like for you to have a strong bias, you want to see those confluences, quote unquote, form at key levels, right? Where you think price would move from. Do you get what I'm saying? So
yes,
basically, you want to see, like, now look at this, the way this candle end, like, what's this? This is a what? Bearish hammer. I don't even, is this a bearish hammer? I don't even know what to call it. But like, it's a bearish candle, and it went through here. So basically, looking at this, you know that this week is going to probably sell more. But because we're in a bullish um order block, we want to trade a bit with caution, because it can also go up. The possibility is there that it can just start buying from here, right? Right? It can probably just start buying from here. But we do not want to see that. We want to see it violate this and go for this low. So let me give you a better example here. A bearish engulfing was formed at the weekly level on the H1. And that's your execution time frame, right? You'd want to see things like that. Your shooting stars, your at key levels, basically. So now look at what this candle did. It swept this high at the key level, and then it broke down and closed below this uh, order block. So basically, this is an entry criteria already using your confluences. So you can use this, go into it, as use your this thing to your long short tool, and then yeah, aim for wherever you want to aim for. So if I had seen this, I'll probably have aimed for here for that low. So yes, that was a very good question. So you want to be seeing those your conferences form at key levels, key higher time frame levels. Basically, that's what you should be looking out for. Key higher time frame levels. So you want to see your conferences form at those levels, right? And the key higher time frame levels are what do you think they are? They are your monthly, daily, and weekly. So you want to see your conferences form at those levels. That was going to give you a proper, a, a better chance on that trade actually going in your direction. So it's really good that you're reading that book. I recommend it for you to, or for everyone to go through, so you know how these kind of patterns form. So now looking at this one now here too, looking look at this, the way it swept this high and then engulfed all these candles, forming this engulfing bearish engulfing candle. So you want to see price come here and not violate this level, right? So you want to see price come all the way up here, then start selling. If it violates here, then means you have to just step back, right? Pause, wait for market to just uh show its hand. You don't want to go rush into like any trades or anything. You want to take your time while trading. So yeah, that was a really good question. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'll look more into it.
Yeah. So do we have? I think we have room for one more question. So in light of no further questions, I guess we'll have to call this a day, and hopefully we have a great trading week this week. So thank you for your time and have a good week.